When I came to Dubai, it was still seen as like a bit of a pipe dream. It was Disneyland in the desert. You know, what's going to happen? Anybody wants to find out what the actual real price of Dubai is, then please ask for the price per square metres of cities around the world. And I think you'll be very surprised where Dubai sits. To me now, the prices in Dubai are like in the 70s, but it's regarded as a top 10 city, even a top 5 city in the world, but it hasn't got the top 5 city prices. People should look into that. When the market here was depressed, a lot of people had lost a lot of money. I'd lost a lot of money. Everybody I associated with had lost a lot of money. Now, the one thing that the Dubai government never stopped was building new roads and infrastructure.
Hey guys, welcome to Lovin Real Estate series presented by Taraf, where we explore Dubai's real estate boom, insights on investment opportunities, luxury living and future market trends. Every episode, we're joined by industry leaders and experts to answer our biggest real estate questions. And today's guest is Paul Charland, Associate Director of Off-Plan and Investment for House & House. Today we'll discuss why Dubai is such an attractive destination for real estate investment, insights on luxury developments such as Taraf's Cello and Terrazzo properties, branded communities, more market trends, and getting that expert tip and advice that all first-time and seasoned investors are looking for. Welcome to the show, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excited to discuss real estate trends. You have the scoop. Why is Dubai such an attractive place for real estate investment and living in?
Well, I believe it's very attractive at the moment just because it seems that the rest of the world is struggling.
So if people are listening or watching today and they're first-time investors, what advice would you give them?
I think that when I look back on the market, I came here in 2005. You know, when you look back, that was really like the Wild West. You know, there wasn't the regulations, there wasn't the DLD, there's no DLD fees. You know, you just go to the developer and buy and sell your unit. When you fast forward, you look at the regulations now that they've got in Dubai, what the Dubai Land Department have introduced. It's a much safer environment to invest in, and also as well the developers that are in the market. You know, a lot of due diligence and research has been done onto them. And our job is to find out which developers we want to work with, and them offering the best options for our clients.
I have lived here 10 years and I'm confused by all of the developments that are seemingly opening up every day. So if I'm new to the city or if I've lived here, like what features of a development should I be looking at that will offer me a better resale value in future?
In an ideal world, you'll buy with a reputable developer, which will probably mean you'll be paying a premium because they've got a name in the market. You've got your Emaar, you've got Maras, and Internet Select are two big private developers that we like working with, as well as Taraf. So if you can work with an established developer with a track record, what we've seen in the last couple of years is with the off-plan developments, once someone is happy with the developer, happy with the location, then we start looking into more detail of the actual development itself. So for instance, the facilities and the amenities, infinity pool, state-of-the-art gymnasium, landscapes, gardens, barbecue areas, there's lots and lots of things that can be added now. So to us, if you've got a good developer, you're happy with everything that they're offering, and it's got all of these facilities, we believe that's going to perform going forwards because Dubai, always improving, that's just going to become the norm.
And so when you look at choices of developers that you work with, like Taraf, for example, do you think about the government infrastructure and what they're planning when you're making those decisions?
I think I came to Dubai in 2005 and, you know, they were building a lot of roads then. And then, you know, the financial crash came and a lot of people left Dubai. And I look back and I remember in 2009 and 2010 when, you know, the market here was depressed. A lot of people had lost a lot of money. I'd lost a lot of money. Everybody I associated with had lost a lot of money. And when we were looking at the projects around Dubai, some of which have been stopped. Now, the one thing that the Dubai government never stopped was building new roads and infrastructure. I found that amazing because at the time, like in 2009, I'm thinking, why are you building these roads to nowhere? Like, who's going to live there? What is out there apart from desert? Now, fast forward, obviously, there's these amazing developments like Arabian Ranches, Jumeirah Golf Estates, etc. So they knew they was going to need the roads. Now, I'd just say, yes, we're in for this period where the traffic's going to be bad for a few years, like any European city. But what we do know is that Dubai government will build new roads. They're not building on greenbelt. They're not cutting down forests. They're building on barren desert, and they're making it better for us to live in.
They're building roads, they're building metros, and then you see these, I would say, luxury premium developments opening up next to metros that are coming, such as Taraf, they've got Cello, they've got Terrazzo. Are you paying a premium for those locations, or what is the benefit of going with a property like those?
I think with JVC, you're looking at a sort of a mid-market development. So you're buying, if you like, there's still this perception that Dubai is very expensive, which we now know is not the case. If you want to buy in the Palm or in downtown or Dubai Hills, you're going to pay a premium. But places like JVC, it's mid-range living, it's affordable, it's got a lovely community. But what we also know, and this is one thing that we always look at with the master communities, for instance, JVC, where Taraf have got Cello, they've got Terrazzo. Now we know over the next few years, JVC is just going to get better because they're already widening the roads, the metro's going in. So that whole area, we know in 2-3 years it's going to be better than what it is now.
So let's look specifically at Taraf's Cello and Terrazzo. What are the key features that investors would find enticing from these properties?
Well, they've got 2 developments. So with Terrazzo, that's a low rise. I believe that Taraf bought 5 or 6 plots and put them together. So it's low rise, but with lots of green spaces, lovely swimming pool, state-of-the-art gym, landscaped areas, and ideally situated. So where the metro should be going, which is what they expect, then that's going to be a walk from there as well. And then you've got Cello, which is a high rise, which is on the other side of JVC, but near to the exits of Al Khail. Both of them offer excellent facilities and amenities.
What's your take on the majority of buyers that you're dealing with at the moment? Are they mainly looking for rental income, resale potential, or personal living? And on that vein, where's the money to be made?
Right, well, it's a complete mixture now. It never used to be. I can go back to 2007, 2008. That was a 70% flipping market. That was speculation. You fast forward to now, and since the beginning of 2021, we have seen the shift in the type of investor to begin with. It's not a lot less investors are taking a short-term view of buying a property off plan to make the first or second payment to then flip on for a profit. They now know that's a lot more difficult than what it used to be because there's DLD fees and there's more. Why should someone pay a premium for that particular product if it's not even ready? But what we know is that everything is improving. Getting better with time.
Speaking of shifts, what do you consider to be, I guess, the key market trends in Dubai right now?
The buyers who were buying 3 years ago, particularly from Europe and the UK, Germany, France, they've bought, they've done well, their property's handed over, they like it, they're renting it out or using it themselves, and then their friends who possibly never would have looked at Dubai are watching them thinking, oh, that's interesting, and now we're dealing with people who never ever would have bought 3 years ago, who now have friends and associates have bought, who now want a piece of the action. That's going to continue.
What about, I'm driving down Chickside Road and I'll see these billboards for the Karl Lagerfeld villas, these branded communities. What is your thought on that? Is there a big market uptick on interest in branded communities?
Definitely for Dubai. I think Dubai and branded property goes hand in hand. It's the type of place that you're going to attract that type of client. What we look at is the brand itself, because you can easily stick up a sign on a building and call it whatever you want to. But certain brands we see as much more powerful than other ones. I'm not going to say who we don't see particularly powerful, but like for instance, Six Senses, Armani. Those 2 names are just, or Dorchester. These are names in the market that are going to appeal to people, and you'd like to think if they're putting their name association to that development, it's going to be that cut above because it's their names that's going to be affected if it isn't. And
in terms of an investment, branded communities, would you recommend that to people? Do you think long term there's good resale on them?
We think it's going through a sort of boom at the moment, and I think we need that bit of time, the next couple of years, because what we're going to see is where they're obviously building a lot of property at the moment, which they need. There's not enough property at the moment. So in a couple of years, when these different branded residences are handed over, we're going to see the ones that have done very well and performed and have ticked all the boxes, and we're going to see the ones that have underperformed and maybe we're not going to work with them again.
Right. Speaking of overperforming, let's get your insights on locations for investment opportunities in Dubai. Where should we be buying?
There's always been the 2 trains of thought. You've got your prime areas, which are guaranteed. So downtown, Marina, the Palm, and then you've got the big up and coming area. You could argue is Dubai South. Because you've got Palm Jebel Ali being relaunched, you've got the big airport, you've got Expo there, and you've got 4 Emaar developments. But for instance, you look at something like JVC, that the actual location of JBC is pretty much perfect. You know, it's the same distance to go to downtown, it's the same distance to go to the marina, same distance to go to the park, and all the infrastructure in that area is improving. So entry level, you know, for people who think that they're priced out of the market or they think it's going to be millions of pounds, that is certainly a very good option.
The key question everyone wants to get to is, are we in a bubble? When is it bursting? What's your take? Will we see a price drop? Should we hold and purchase in 2026 when apparently there's going to be more properties on the market? What's your take on the bubble?
My personal opinion, and it's not everybody's, having been through quite a severe crash in Dubai 2008, 2009, I'm convinced we're not in a bubble. I believe that Dubai is actually still undervalued. If you look at the price of Dubai as a city, it ranks something like 74th in the world, price per square metre. And when you look at the top 10, London, Zurich, Frankfurt, Tel Aviv, etc., we've got a long way to go before we're going to compete with those prices. So there's still a lot of value in Dubai.
Before you leave us, today is the Lovin Real Estate series presented by Taraf, and of course you're partnering with them on certain projects. So, what qualities and expertise do you bring to the table in terms of promoting and managing these properties? Why should people want to work with House & House on the Taraf holding properties?
I think that we're in a really good position at House & House is because we're a big company with a good reputation. All of the developers actually want to work with us. So we're in this really good position that we're offered all the developments to sell, and we can effectively pick and choose what we want to go to market with. So what we want to know is, because obviously the type of buyers we get somebody who's very specific, I want exactly this, or you get somebody who say, well, no, I've got 1-2 million dirhams, what should I buy, Paul, what's your advice? So they're the different types we're dealing with, but at the moment there's a whole mixture of what people want.
I love property. I could talk about it day and night because I feel like we're in agreement that this is not a bubble, but we just need to be specific with where we choose to put our money.
Yeah, and as I said, anybody wants to find out what the actual real price of Dubai is, then please ask for the price per square metres of cities around the world, and I think you'll be very surprised where Dubai sits. And can I just finish, years ago, when I came to Dubai, it was still seen as like a bit of a pipe dream. It was Disneyland in the desert, what's going to happen? And nobody knew what was going to happen. And then, we did get hurt during the crash. But when you look how Dubai's come back, to me now, when you look around the world, the prices in Dubai are like in the 70s, but it's regarded as a top 10 city, even a top 5 city in the world, but it hasn't got the top 5 city prices. People should look into that.
100% agree with you. Just need to find my wallet. Thank you, Paul. That is Paul Sharland, Associate Director of Off-Plan and Investment for House & House, for sharing your expertise and giving us a deeper understanding of Dubai's real estate market. It's always exciting to explore how innovative projects and thoughtful designs are shaping the way we live in UAE. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to join us next time for more insightful conversations on real estate, lifestyle, and everything in between. Join us for the next episode of Lovin Real Estate presented by Taraf. Bye-bye.